Hello, boyos. We are Last Week in Games, and last week, Annapurna had a showcase. Star Wars KOTOR. Development is possibly suspended for good? We'll find out. GTA 6 will probably, most likely, have a female protagonist, and we have some fun things coming up next week that we will be reporting on. If you like what we do, follow us on all the social media, Last Week in Games, twitch.tv/lonercast, and every podcast service known to man by searching Last Week in Games. Hello, boyos!
Hello, boyos.
Welcome to Last Week in Games. My name is Nick, and my always lovely co-host, Jacob. Jacob, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm
Good.
alive.
This is where we talk about video games. And guess what? Guess what, Jake?
What's up?
Everything is video games. That's right.
Wow.
Everything under the sun is video games. And probably even farther out. We'll probably get into some space stuff too.
Oh my god.
Which isn't technically under the sun. But it's all video games because video games transcends the mind, transcends human nature. It's creativity. And creativity is all around us.
It's true.
For real though, how are you doing? Namaste.
I'm good.
Namaste.
Namaste. I'm good, man. Had a busy weekend. Got a dog. Had to return a dog.
Oh. Man, you could have paused on that one. It's just like, got a dog.
Got a dog. Returned the dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know,
She was a very good dog. We found this dog and she needed a home. We took her in. She does not like our other dog that we have here. And
fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, our little dog is a little shit, but like I don't think it would be too much of an issue if our little dog wasn't so old and decrepit and small, and this dog is big.
And decrepit.
She's also decrepit and fat and like really out of shape. That's another thing. We were kind of worried about her health a bit. Although that was one of her selling points for me personally, because I don't know. I just like have a heart for that stuff where I'm just like, I just want to take care of sickly animals. But yeah, I don't want her to kill our little chihuahua because she's fat, but she also has a big jaw. You know, she'll just crush him. All it takes is one little bite, and he's done.
Just turn his skull into powder.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's sad when we went to the shelter. They're like, "Oh yeah, she's really sweet. She's never shown any like forms of aggression towards anything, but we've never really seen her with other dogs. But she's probably fine." And we're like, "Okay, we'll take her home and see." And she immediately was like, "No, fuck this dog," and like, yeah, she
just
like
straight up.
He came over to her and was like all excited to like. He's like, "Oh, new friend," and she was like, "No, don't come near me," and like tried to bite him and shit. So, yeah.
Did you spend any money on this? Are you out any money from this? Do you know?
I didn't. I mean, I spent money on like a bed and some bowls and stuff like that. But
okay.
That's all stuff we can use in the future if we ever decide to try again. Or, you know, our little chihuahua can just have a massive fucking bed now.
Nice. Yeah. As they usually do.
No, they were doing a thing at the shelter where someone, I guess, came in and like was like, "Hey, we'll just cover everyone's adoption fee for the month."
Nice.
So, you know, we didn't spend money, but even if we did, they have a policy where it's like a 90-day return because you're technically fostering for the first 90 days.
Yeah, we did that with ours too.
Yeah, so yeah, we knew it was a possibility when we got her that it wouldn't work out. So, I feel for her because she's so sweet and she needs a home. So if anyone's watching this and needs a big fucking overweight dog, she's really sweet. She just needs to be an only dog though in her house. She just doesn't like other dogs.
So if your grandmother needs a dog,
pretty much, yeah, she'd be a great like grandma dog. She probably was some grandma's dog, and that's probably how she ended up at a shelter.
Could be.
But
Grandma died, dog didn't.
she's so funny though, because she's like so out of shape. But like, I took her on a walk this morning, and she was like so pumped to go on a walk. We walked to the end of the road, and she's like so fucking pumped about it. We get back, she just plops on the ground. She's like, "Oh god, too much work." Yeah,
That's hilarious.
she's sweet, but yeah, just wasn't meant to be. Uh,
Yeah.
Anyway,
It is what it is.
how you
I'll
doing?
have to bring Shawnee over and,
Yeah, we'll
wear
just
Ricky out and she'll just kill him.
yeah.
And then you can keep the dog.
I see Shawnee's butt in the corner there.
Do you?
Yeah,
Is she over there? No.
is that not Shawnee's butt right there? What is that?
Right here? Right
No,
here?
nope, down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here?
Right. Oh, that's your mic.
Oh, yes.
I thought that was Shawnee's butt.
No, yeah, I didn't see it either. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I thought she was laying on the ground.
No, she's doesn't like it in here. It's too hot.
Yeah.
And I don't blame her. Yeah, we should. That'd be pretty funny. That's too bad, man.
Yeah, it is what
That's
it is.
too bad. But
You met her. She's a sweetheart.
yeah, she's a big
Big
dog. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want her because she's big and like
hairy.
slow, and like it takes a lot of patience to do that. And I already use all of my patience on everything else. So
yeah, I don't think she's a lot of people's ideal dog, but I really like her because yeah, I don't know.
Well,
she just sleeps most of the time, which me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you been? I assume you haven't been playing anything because of this dog thing.
Not much. I actually, it's funny. I was also dog sitting my cousin's dog last week, and I played a shit ton of Horizon Forbidden West, but I'm like right at the end of that game.
So you don't really want to talk about it.
So I almost want to save it for next week or the week after, just because I know I'm gonna beat it within the next 2 weeks. So I kind of want to save it so I could just do a full fucking dump.
I see. And then we get our own little, Jake review.
Yeah, we'll just post it as a review. It's a additional content for the channel too.
Yeah, man. Anything.
Yeah, anything.
Anything for the channel. Anything. I will sell my right testicle for the channel.
If YouTube allowed it, I would post my dick on YouTube 100%.
Not even just if it made money. It was just you just would post your dick if you were able to.
Yeah, I guess I could do it on Twitter.
Yeah,
you're allowed to.
You could do it on. You could do it on Twitter.
I
might have to block you on Twitter, but you could do it.
Hold on. How's my camera angle? You can't see low, right? Hold on.
No, I can't see low.
Let's just do it now.
Yeah, why not?
Just kidding.
Go for it. I didn't see a flash.
What if I did? That'd be crazy. That'd be wild.
That'd be crazy, and it would show up in my feed, and I'd like it.
Yeah, and I'd like it.
And I'd like it. Just heart, share, Jake's mom.
I've also been playing a lot of Tetris
with the tag Mama's Big Boy.
Yeah, Mama's Big Boy.
Oh God. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, look how far he's grown.
Yeah. Speaking of long, hard blocks.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Tetris, which I talk a lot about Tetris. But this weekend, me and you, and your fiance,
and you and me, and my fiance.
And I think a couple other people are going to be there, so get excited. But we're going to Game On Expo this weekend, and
it's a local Phoenix, Arizona convention. It's very small, but I'm excited. I've never been.
Me too.
I don't think you've been.
Yeah, I've never been. It seems to be more popular than I thought it was. Like I've been seeing a lot of people post about it online. Like they're all hyped about it. But at Game On Expo, they do the CTWC Desert Qualifiers.
Is that like wrestling?
No, that's Classic Tetris World Championship.
Oh, I see. You could, I gotcha.
So
it's like wrestling, though.
Yeah, it is like wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't plan on getting far in it, but I plan on watching and playing. In the CTWC.
Do you know what days it is?
I think that the CTWC stuff is on Friday. I think it's on Friday.
Fuck. Okay.
Like, are you not going to be there on Friday?
No, I'll be there on Friday. I just know that you're going to be preoccupied with that, and I'm not really going to be there on Saturday. So
Uh,
we got a thing we got to go to. But anyway, other than that,
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I might not be like as preoccupied with it as you think I am, because I'm not. I'm telling you right now, I'm not like getting far in it.
oh, dude. But if I know you, you'll be in that room fucking
Just playing.
all Friday. Like, I got to prepare. And then all Saturday leading up to it, I got to prepare. Or whatever. It's Friday. So it would be like all Friday. And then if it was on Saturday, you'd be in there all Saturday. And then
Well,
you'd get to it. And then you'd lose in the second round. And you'd be like, oh, well,
here's the thing
let's
about
go see the rest of the thing.
CTWC is like the starting speed for the actual championship or like the actual tournament rules. You have to start at 18. I can't even play at 18. So like I'm not even gonna
Wow.
like I can't even play at 18. I can kind of play at 18, but like not really.
Even at this thing that we're going to?
I think they'll let me like play and like
Oh,
there's gonna be
I like two, like you normally do, yeah.
no, I start at usually 9 or 12. I've been trying to start at 12.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so from 12 to 16, it's all the same speed, but once it hits 16, the speed speeds up, and then from
Okay.
16 to 18, it's all the same speed.
Gotcha.
Um,
And then 18's a whole nother thing.
so well, 16 to 18 is like the same thing. So I can kind of play at 16, so 18 as well.
Okay.
But once it hits 19, it's really fucking fast.
Gotcha.
And then after 19, it's like 27, I think. It gets to a speed called the kill screen where like no one can play at that speed.
You're just guessing. Yeah.
Oh, it's just like it literally that's the end of your run. Like you're not going to get any further than that. Although there's a new technique now. I'm getting too deep into Tetris on this thing, but I'm doing it.
No, fucking going. We don't have any show today, so it's beautiful.
The way I play is a thing called DAS. All right, we're getting deep into Tetris over here. It's a thing called DAS, and that's just basically like playing like normal, just hitting the thing. But you have to like preload your DAS because of the frames or whatever. It's too complicated to really get into. But then there's another one called hyper tapping, where you kind of use two fingers to tap really fast. So you're like breaking the frames. So like you're tapping faster than the frames. Gotcha. There's a new technique that just came out last year that people are actually able to play on the kill screen because it's so fast. It's called rolling, where you keep your finger up here and you like roll on the back of the NES controller.
Okay, so why is that important? Is that just to flip it fast enough?
It just makes it go really. It just flings your fucking piece to the side, basically, like because you're pressing so fast. It's like instantaneous. You can't hyper tap that fast, so that's why. Like,
okay, and this is different than this.
Well, you can't like really realistically use 3 fingers on one button.
But upside down, you can.
Right, because you're using one finger to really tap it, but these are pushing the controller against your finger.
Oh, I see.
So it's like rolling it. Yeah.
Wow. And people have figured out that fucking perfect spot where the rocker just rocks.
Yep.
And
people are starting to get really fun. So like I've never thought I would be able to do it. Like I'm not. That's what I keep saying. Like I'm just going just to have fun. Like I'm not even gonna be able to touch any of these guys. These guys are insane.
But one day, man. One day.
No, I don't care that much.
Oh, okay.
Tetris is fun, but I don't have that kind of time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not. Nah. I don't know. That's like a hyper fixation sort of like.
Those people should be put in a mental ward.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, yeah, that's what I would say too.
I equate it to like speed running. Like people who speed run
should be killed.
No,
is what he's saying.
It's just like one of those things where it's like if you do this shit, you don't play anything else. Like you only play Tetris or you only play whatever you're speed running. And I'm just not that guy.
I wonder if people like that have like lives.
Yeah.
Like we have day jobs that we go to, right? So we're gone 8-ish hours of every day, right? And then we come home and we play video games or we do whatever we need to do, right? Though I feel like some people like that maybe don't have day jobs and they just that's all they do. Or maybe they do have day jobs, so they work 8 hours at some like, Barnes and Noble, and then they come home
And they
and
just play
all
Tetris.
they do is play Tetris, or all they do is speed run Mario 64
Hey
and
man,
order Uber Eats all day. It's just like
it's
g-
that's
good
probably
on you.
it's
That's
probably
if that's
accurate.
what you want to
But
do.
I was looking at our time because PlayStation has a new feature where we can look through our play times on games, and I
Hmm.
was looking at our times, and I got to your Destiny times, dude.
Don't even. Don't.
You were at like
Destiny 1.
yeah, you were at like 2,600 hours or something like that.
I think that's fake. I think that's fake. There's no
It's not
way.
real. It's
There's
not
no
real.
way
It's
I
not
put that
real.
much time into it.
Yeah, and your Rainbow Six Siege was like 900 hours.
Yeah,
And
that one makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
so it's just like they're just not playing that. They're just playing this one game, you know?
It
They're
could
just
be. They just instead of playing, Siege and
yeah.
Destiny and since, the 60s when Tetris came out.
It's the 80s, but yeah.
And I know. The 80s when Tetris came out, they've nonstop just played
Well,
Tetris.
I've noticed something interesting with the Tetris community that like so up until about so like 5 years ago, about the time I started getting into it,
Uh-huh.
it was mainly a bunch of old dudes who played Tetris back in the day, and they all
Right.
played DAS. There were a couple people who did hyper tapping, but it was kind of a new thing.
Okay.
Um, then this kid Joseph came in, who was like a hyper tapping master. He came in, he beat the 8-time world champion, who was like an old guy, and this kid was like 16. Ever since that happened, pretty much everyone in the classic Tetris scene is like they're like 13. They're all like
Shit, dude.
like 13 to 20.
Get out of the driver's seat, Grandpa. I've got the
Yeah,
keys to the car.
right. So I think
They're changing the game, man.
this kid came in and beat the Tetris champion, and I think a bunch of kids online saw that kid and they're like, we want to play. And they found like new techniques with the hyper or with the rolling, and they gotten really good at hyper tapping. And like, so I think these kids, they just go to school and they come home and they play classic Tetris.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, that makes sense. We had so much fucking time when we went to school. So yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Also,
And these kids, it just like absorbs into their brain a lot quicker
yeah,
than my 30-year-old brain.
yeah, man, it's crazy, dude. Like kids, you put young blood into like something that's been going on for years,
Yeah.
they'll change it up.
They'll
They'll
figure it out.
find a way. They'll figure it out. It doesn't matter how old you get or what generation you are. The generation after you is going to figure out a better way to do it and a more efficient way to do it. It's just how it is.
Yeah, last year there was this girl. I can't remember her age. She had to have been like 17 or something. But apparently she had never even like heard of CTWC, and she was competing, playing like wrong because you're supposed to build your well on the right because of the frames. They
Right.
go
Mhm.
easier to the left. She
Right.
was building her well on the left because she didn't understand like that was a thing.
Uh-huh.
And the reason she started playing is because her uncle back in the day was like a hardcore Tetris player. But even with her like fucked up left well, she was like playing with the top guys just because she's young and was just like she just figured it out because young
Just
people
figured
are
it
just
out.
crazy.
Fucking adapted, man.
They're just
Fucking
crazy.
adapted.
Yeah.
Evolve. Evolution is real. God is fake.
Yeah. Well, and these kids are also like different than the kids that were playing it in the 80s because these are like kids who are used to screens and controllers. Like back in the 80s when this shit came out, it was the first game, it's like the first video game, so
that's true.
people weren't used to it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And now you don't have to go out in the fields and plow the fields with your dad when you come home from school. You
yeah,
you can
just like the 80s.
just get on your iPad. Yeah. Yeah, just like the 80s. That was when the Dust Bowl was.
Yeah, the Dust Bowl of the 80s. Anyway, Nick, what you been playing, man?
Shit, man. I've been playing some just a little bit more of the basic stuff. You got your Monster Hunter Rise, you got your Teamfight Tactics, but also it took me about a day and a half based on the Wi-Fi, which I'm very surprised is holding up. Don't jinx it. Knock on wood, please. the Wi-Fi took about a day and a half to download a game that's pretty old called World War Z. Uh, this game's fantastic, dude.
Really?
World War Z is the best Left 4 Dead game that I've played. Better than Left 4 Dead. It's really good. It's really cool. The concepts are ridiculous. It's funny. It's really good. The customization is nuts too. The guns and all that. Played for about an hour, 2 hours maybe, this weekend, and I'm like, we should have been playing this a while ago. So
Is it like so it's like Left 4 Dead?
it's third person Left 4 Dead.
So it's like 4 players and
Mm-hmm.
and you just go around killing zombies?
Yeah, you go down like a track, and there's chapters just like Left 4 Dead, and then you'll hit like a spot where it's like, oh, the hordes are coming, and then you have to defend like a sort of like what are those games called? Tower defense, like a tower defense sort of situation. So you set up like barricades and turrets and shock traps and whatnot, and then you just wait, and you see all these swarm, like
It's
literally
like Orcs Must Die.
waves of fucking yeah, kinda waves of zombies just falling off of buildings, running at you, climbing up, like forming like you saw World War Z and with
Brad Pitt?
what Brad Pitt, is it Brad Pitt in that movie?
Yeah, it was Brad Pitt.
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt. You
Yeah.
saw where they're like climbing up walls and shit, and you shoot the bottom ones, and they'll all crumble down. It's really good. It's really
I'll
good.
have to fuck around with it. What's it on? Is it
Game Pass.
Oh, it's on Game Pass? You re-downloaded Game Pass?
No, I have it for free through Epic.
Oh,
So,
but it is
you
on
can
Game
play.
Pass.
It is cross-platform and everything. So
Nice.
yeah,
Well, I'll have to fucking play it.
you should start to download. I'm sure we'll play more of it because
Yeah.
it's that fun. It feels good too. It's not. It doesn't feel bad. You just got to find your class because there's a couple of classes. It's like, oh, you start with a grenade, you start with a C4, you start with this, and the medic is like, you start with a pistol. I'm like, oh, I usually like being support in these kind of games, and I hated it, so I'm not a medic in that game. But yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
I'll fuck around with it. Why not?
Fuck around with it. It's free.
I
What
mean,
do you have to lose?
I know, dude. We've been looking for games to play other than fucking League of Legends.
I know. It's been a time.
Yeah.
Let's move on, shall we?
Indeed.
Let's get the show on the road. We've talked about Tetris. We've talked about World War Z. We've talked about dogs. It's a show about everything, but mostly about video games. And let's get into the
Should we talk about Dog the Bounty Hunter though, real quick?
No,
I'm just kidding.
No. I have nothing to say about that man.
I think he's hilarious.
We have zero titties because we're men.
Yeah, no titties.
We did not think to include the titties this week.
Yeah.
Right. But we did. We did have an event, and it flew under my radar until just today. We had an Annapurna showcase, and they showed off some things. You know, they showed off some things.
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly
cool
updates. Do you want to go through all of these?
We don't have to go through
kind of like
you can
talk about what looked cool to you.
Yeah, I thought Thirsty Suitors seems nuts. Seems like
it seems like it's doing a lot.
It does. It scares me a little just because like there's so much going on. But it's like Persona meets Tony Hawk meets
a dating sim.
Yeah. Like Persona, I guess. But it seems more heavy on the dating stuff. It's here it is. It's Persona meets Tony Hawk meets Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's
a good one.
Because she's like fighting her ex-boyfriends.
So she's not even fighting. They're like trying to get her back or whatever, right? Is kind of how I took the story. Is like they're trying to get her back, and she's like, "Well, you can choose to go with them, or you can become friends, or go separate ways, or whatever." But they showed off like a turn-based fighting thing, and then they shook hands at the end. And I was like, "Oh, okay, well that's different."
It's like coming to terms with.
Yeah, and I thought that was different. But then they're like, "And skateboarding," and I'm like, wait, what? Huh? What? Weird. Okay, sure. And it looks okay.
Just because she's a vibe,
I
dude.
I don't know. It looks okay. It looks really funny and interesting,
Yeah.
but
I
I
think
don't think it's a game for me.
if it's really short, I think that's good. And it just like
Yeah.
it does these sort of like Stray, like where it's like it doesn't do anything crazy, but because it's so short and like gets to the point, like it could work. And I think Annapurna is really good at that. So I
Yeah.
could see that. Or kind of like
Yeah.
Boyfriend Dungeon, where it's like Boyfriend Dungeon, since it was only, like 6 hours long, it didn't feel that bad, even though like the game mechanics were pretty whack and not that great, but I
Yeah.
still liked the game because it was so short. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. It could be something really special.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
can't really think of anything that stood out to me crazy.
There was just like a bunch of people that seemed vibey. Like there was one studio.
They're
They didn't really
yeah.
show anything, but it was like two dudes. They're like, yeah, we just sort of were like making games online, and I was
Mm-hmm.
in Dallas, and he was like in Indiana or something. I can't remember where he was. Um, and then he's like, yeah, and then we just started making a game together. This is the first time we've met to make this video, but we're almost done with our game. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a bunch of
It's
stuff like that.
it's weird that this showcase was more about like the people than the actual games. Like these are the people making the games.
Yeah.
This is what we're selling. We're not selling the games. It's the people we're selling. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Annapurna is definitely the A24 of video games, because A24 kind of does that too, where it's like this is a fucking game, a fucking movie made by Ari Aster. Don't worry about what it's about. Just know it's made by Ari Aster. That's kind of what they're trying to do here, it seems. Because
Yeah.
aren't they making? They're the ones that are also making the game that's like by the guy who made the Stanley Parable. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so they're
Yeah.
like,
They're publishing that game.
yeah. They also announced like an upgrade for like Outer Wilds. I think people would be pretty hyped about that. The Pathless, Solar Ash. That was the other thing that like surprised me about this. I was like, man, there's so many A24 games that I still need to play, like the
Yeah.
Pathless and Solar Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other thing that was crazy was like a lot of these things that were shown here were like, yeah, and it's coming to Game Pass. Like a lot of these games are coming to Game Pass, so that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And then there was like a dinosaur game,
yeah,
dinosaur survival game
that
that
was
was
definitely
at the end, and
definitely the
it,
standout.
yeah, it looked cool. But the problem with this is we don't really see a whole lot of anything in this sort of trailer thing, except for the people, and I kind of respect that, but also I wish we saw more games,
Yeah,
more gameplay-ish stuff.
the Lost Wild is the dinosaur game. This game actually
Yeah,
looks cool. I mean, we need to see more of it, obviously, but like, I don't know. I think it's like Dino Crisis, but they're like, we're sick of fucking Jurassic Park having the hold on dinosaurs.
yeah,
It's our turn
yeah.
now.
Jurassic Park doesn't deserve it. They fucked it up since the second movie, and they just don't deserve it.
Where's that? Wasn't there like a mech game that they showed? Or am I making that up in my brain?
Yeah, no, it was like it looked like that farm simulator, but you're in a mech. But
Oh,
it
here it is.
wasn't that game. It was like a Western mech fighting game thing. I don't know. That looked weird.
Yeah, I fucked with it. It looked like Armored Core kind of, but like you're on a farm defending this farm, and I thought it looked really cool. It's called Bounty Star: The Morose Tale of
That's the one.
Graveyard Clem. Yeah, that should look really cool.
Great name, guys. Great fucking name.
That's an artsy farts game for sure. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like Annapurna and Devolver have this like perfect like head to head where like Annapurna's like we're like super arts house, and Devolver's like we're just making fun things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like here's all the story, and then here's all the fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you choose between if they combine and they like
They'd be unstoppable, dude.
that would be so good.
They
Could you imagine?
they should not do that.
No, they should.
No.
Could you imagine like an Outer Wilds meets uh fucking Carrion?
uh,
I don't know.
Also, What Remains of Edith Finch is getting like a 60 frames update, which doesn't matter to that game because it's literally a walking sim, but it's like one of the most amazing games I've ever played in my life. And to anyone who hasn't played that game, fucking play that shit. I
Nice.
woke up one morning super early, um, when I was living with you back in the day, and I was like, I don't know, I got like 3 hours before I have to do anything, and I just booted up this game, and I was like, this game just changed my life. Like in 3 hours, I'm like, this was like the best game I've ever played.
Wow.
So go play that shit. It's fucking amazing.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, that's about it. That's all I have to say. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was very chill, very hipster-ish. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
but that's all we got for events. Now we move on to the news. And our
The
first
news.
little bit of news: Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game has been paused amid studio shakeup. This comes from our best friend, our good pal, and our mother lover, Jason Schreier at Bloomberg. And he says a hotly anticipated new Star Wars game is in serious trouble, according to people familiar with the project. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, a remake of 2003, or I'm saying 20, still in the 20s, baby. A remake of a 2003 role-playing game is delayed indefinitely as developers at Austin, Texas-based Asper Media try to figure out what comes next. Asper also abruptly fired the game's art director and design director this month in a series of meetings throughout July. Asper's two studio heads told employees that the project is on pause and that the company will look to new contracts and development opportunities, said the people who were not authorized to speak publicly about the situation. Why is there Jason, man? You
I mean, that's how you
hmm.
word it. Yeah, said the
Yeah, but
people.
you don't need two commas in that sentence.
All right,
Anyway,
all right, all right.
Knights of the Old Republic was one of the first modern Star Wars console games released outside of outside of EA, which had previously held exclusive licensing rights. That deal expires in 2023, opening the door for new Star Wars games from outside companies like Asper, Ubisoft, and Quantic Dream. On June 30th, Asper finalized a demo of the game known as a vertical slice to show production partners Lucasfilms and Sony Group. The developers were excited about it and felt like they were on track, according to a person familiar with the project, so they were shocked by what happened next. The following week, the company fired design director Brad Prince and art director Jason Miner. Neither responded to requests for comments, but Miner suggested on a social media page that his dismissal was unexpected.
Yeah, man.
Crazy. Crazy. Any thoughts? Any thoughts on this?
Yeah. So what I'm guessing, so like Aspire, like I think what they're kind of known for, I guess, is they've been doing all the remasters for Knights of the Old Republic. So like the remaster that's on, or not remaster, but like the ports and stuff. Like so the Knights of the Old Republic that's on Switch and stuff like that. That's all done by Aspire, I guess.
Right.
So I think Sony was probably thinking like, yeah, we'll just put Aspire on the remake. Like, they've done great with the ports. They know this content, so let's just have them do it. I don't know if it was the PlayStation showcase that happened where they showed the they just showed the title card and they weren't expecting like such a visceral reaction from the fan base. Like everyone was like, this is going to be the next coming of Jesus.
Right.
Or if, they just didn't like what they saw with that vertical slice or whatever. I would have to guess that like it's a mix of both where they were like, yeah, this vertical slice seems fine. It seems pretty loyal to the original game and just seems like they're buttoning up some things. But maybe because of what happened at the uh I forget what it was, if it was like a showcase or if it was or just like a direct or whatever, or a state of
Wasn't
play.
it? Wasn't it Game Awards?
Was it Game Awards?
I
No,
feel like it was
it
Game
was around
Awards.
game. It was around. I don't fucking remember. No, they showed it around the Summer Games Fest thing, the PlayStation thing the week
Like
before.
an Xbox?
No, it was
No, because it had
PlayStation.
to be a place. It was a PlayStation thing. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
must have been a state of play.
Wasn't it that state of play the week before the Game Awards or the Game Fest, Summer
Could
Game
be.
Fest?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but everyone was fucking hyped. That was like the big pop for that
Yeah.
state of play because there was nothing else.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it had to have been that state of play before Game Fest. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder if they were like, oh shit, people want like a Final Fantasy VII remake for this game,
Right.
not just like a remake. You know what I mean? I wonder
Hmm.
if that's what it was. And they're like, oh shit, we should probably put like, I don't know, Sony Bend on this or something. Opposed from just like Aspire, who's never done a game quite this
Okay.
large before.
It could be. Yeah. It could be that.
I have
It
no
could
idea.
just be. It could just be, trouble within the upper management, and people don't like people, and they're like, well, fuck you, this is how it's gonna go, and they're like, no, fuck you, you're fired, and then he's like, fuck you, I'm taking the game with me, and they're like,
Yeah.
no, you're not, it's staying here, but we're not doing anything with it. Or it's the curse of modern Star Wars games where none of them can be released
Yeah.
or good, although
We've gotten a
some games
couple.
some games were okay. So I don't know. It's such a weird thing. It's a real bummer. It's a really bad bummer, honestly. And before I read about this, my fiance's like, "Oh my God, did you hear?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what? Well, that sucks." But they didn't show anything. Like, if this game was closer, if it was like, "Hey, it's 6 months out," I'd be like, "Man, bummer, dude. Like, what the hell? It's almost done. Just finish the game."
Yeah.
But we saw was Riven, Revan's
Revan.
face,
Yeah.
and it's just like, there he is. I'm like,
Yep.
cool.
And then like the logo.
Yeah. It's like the Star Wars game that what's his face is making. The
Oh
other
yeah.
one.
Yeah, totally.
The guy that made Heavy Rain.
David Cage.
David Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Cage's Star Wars game. That one's going belly up, I guess, too. So maybe EA's planting little bombs in everybody's Star Wars project,
Yeah.
and like, hey, look, they're doing even worse than we are.
Yeah,
You
true.
should keep it over with us. Maybe there's fucking EA spies
I
everywhere.
also wonder if like Lucas just like, I don't know. It just seems so mismanaged over at Luke because it goes beyond just the games, right? Like I think they hold things really close to their chest over there, like closer than they do with Marvel almost. And it almost seems like to the detriment of the company itself because like Lucasfilm has had like so many blunders, even starting all the way back with Rogue One, where they had all the issues with Gareth Edwards at the end of that production. The movie
Yeah.
turned out fine, which stick around. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. Um, Rogue One, but and then we had the problems with Solo, where they had to completely change that out, and then the problems with Episode 9, where they basically scrapped an entire script and like started from the ground up, and like then they just straight up were like, we're not doing any more movies, even though they had said we plan to do this for like the next 50 years of just doing a
Mhm.
movie every year. So
Yeah.
like I just wonder, man, like and then all the stuff with EA, like that's happened with like Battlefront being a mess, and like yeah, it just seems like Lucasfilm and like whoever's in charge over there, Kathleen Kennedy, is just like doesn't know what they're doing, and they're like
Yeah.
scared to like step on anyone's toes. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened here. I have no fucking clue, but I'm just
Right.
saying there's like a constant weirdness with Star Wars ever since Disney's gotten hold of it, you know?
It's true. It is true. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because even Battlefront 1, remember, they were so like, we can't break canon.
Yep.
Battlefront 1, they're like, we cannot break canon.
Even
There's
Battlefront 2.
Well, Battlefront 2, they were finally like, okay, we don't care as much.
Well,
They have the hero fights and stuff, and like
yeah.
they brought in the clone troopers and stuff, and
Yeah.
you'll see Darth Vader killing clone troopers in that game from time to time. Like they didn't care as much in that one. So, because like
Yeah.
Battlefront's not the game to like worry about canon. Like,
No, not at all.
that's
Although I did like Battlefront 1 better than Battlefront 2.
yeah,
Just the gameplay of it, really. The way the loadouts worked and all that was, in my opinion, better
yeah. I
and
definitely
more fun.
feel different about that than you, but like, yeah, I don't know. It just seems like Lucasfilm doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They need new leadership over there, I think.
Something. Need
Not
something.
that this has anything. I guess I don't know. This could have just been a Aspire doesn't know what they're doing. This could be a Sony thing. I don't know.
It could be. It could be.
Who knows?
It's such a weird thing. Star Wars is cursed
It's super
right now.
cursed. It's super cursed.
I wonder if we'll ever get out of it. Um anyway, we got another thing. And
Another
this
thing.
thing is GTA 6 will reportedly feature the series' first female protagonist. This comes from Sean Murray at The Gamer,
Not that Sean Murray though.
the other one.
Not Hello Games Sean Murray. The other.
Oh, oh yeah. Okay, you're right. Maybe it is. Maybe it
It's
is the
not.
same. And he's writing.
I looked into it.
You,
It's not.
you looked into it.
Because I
Damn.
was like,
Oh,
is he writing? Maybe he is writing for the gamer. I don't
yeah,
know.
that would be weird. That would be so strange
Yeah.
that we would have so much Hello Games news. He's just like, ooh, guess what?
Our next
Insider.
game is
Yeah.
10
and
cajillion
and
different
also
states.
this game is going to be really good, trust me. I'm Sean Murray. And Sean Murray at The Gamer says, while some companies that shall remain nameless have been struggling to evolve from their frat boy work cultures, Blizzard, a new report says that Rockstar Games, famous for horribly misogynistic and even racist descriptions in its video games, has actually cleaned up its act. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, there he is again,
He can't
our
be
our
escaped.
our best friend. Jason Schreier spoke to at least 20 current and former Rockstar employees who described a company that evolved rapidly from constant crunch and trips to strip clubs to a more inclusive and equitable studio that values its employees and strives for work-life balance. This new culture has also resulted in an enormous shift for GTA 6, which will feature a female protagonist for the first time in the franchise history. Described as a Latina woman heavily influenced by famous bank robbers, Bonnie and Clyde, she'll be one of two playable characters in GTA 6. That's a huge change for franchise and that previously only depicted women as either victims or sex objects, with reports also noted that GTA 6 story will try to avoid jokes with punch down on marginalized groups, other massive swaps for the series. Um, cool.
Yeah. Uh,
Female and GTA.
I'm honestly surprised that hasn't been a thing before.
Yeah, because I don't know. That's such a strange thing to think. Like I've never really thought about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back to San Andreas. I'm like, yeah, there wasn't really like female characters except for CJ, like yelling at you and
Yeah. Or yeah, your girlfriend that you're trying to
supporting
woo or whatever.
characters and whatnot. And then I'm like, okay, GTA 4.
Yeah, and then
Okay. You got Roman and you got your main guy or
hey,
whatever.
cousin.
Cousin, yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's not really like a female in that. And then, what's funny about this?
And 5 we got like the bitchy daughter and wife. Like
Yeah.
that's
And that
really
was
it.
it. That was really it, right?
Yeah.
Um, or like Franklin's sister or mom, I think it was.
Oh yeah. She was okay.
but they're all supporting characters, you know.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, you go to like Saints Row, the most like sexualized
Yeah.
version of GTA, and like you've got literally like a main character who is like your second in command. I forget her name, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
throughout all of the games, I forget
Yeah.
Shawnee, Shanti,
I think you're right. I think it was Shawnee, right?
something that's got to be
And then
right,
and then
something like that.
Kinsey, who was like the tech
The
wizard, and
tech wizard and 3 and 4,
and
yeah,
not to mention Saints Row is a self-insert, so your character can be a female as well.
or an alien or a zombie or whatever. So that
Yeah.
I find that really crazy that like I've always saw as like Grand Theft Auto as being the more grounded. Granted, it's it's still fucking video games, the more grounded of the two. But then you look at Saints Row and it's like, oh no, this was way more inclusive. Looking back on it, it's like
Yeah.
this is actually like it has characters of everywhere, and it does a good job at representing as many people as it can. That's weird. I'm just thinking about this now.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the fact that you haven't had like a playable woman in GTA doesn't like upset me as much, just because, like, I mean, if we're being realistic, there probably aren't as many women in gangs. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions here, but like,
Yeah.
they would still be in the circles
Right,
of that, and like,
right.
maybe not so much out there like doing your drive-by shootings or whatever, but you would still have people, like female people, in
Within the circles, yeah.
yeah, involved, like at homes,
Hmm.
being
Yeah,
married to these people,
doing
or
doing the planning, you
yeah,
know.
doing planning, or just they women exist. So
Yeah,
yeah, and it is kind of funny, like, GTA has kind of always ignored that. um
yeah. And I've never really thought about it, but I guess
Yeah, and
good.
also, it is a video game, and it is ridiculous. Like, when you really think about GTA, it's not realistic at all. So,
No.
like, even if you are one of those weirdos that are like, women can't do what men do, like, but like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Who
Even if
cares?
that is your argument, which is a stupid one to begin with, like,
Hmm.
it's a video game where you can turn on a cheat code to like fly a car in the air and do
Yeah.
flips and stuff, and like,
Or people are like modding Thomas the Tank into every vehicle or
yeah.
something like that. It's like, great,
Or
cool.
even without cheats and hacks, it's a game where you just go up to a cop's car and steal it.
Or shoot him in the face
Yeah.
and get away scot-free.
And just get away. Like, it's not very realistic.
Not at all.
That being said, though, Nick, how are we feeling about GTA 6? You excited, or like, you like?
I'm excited. I'm reserved, but I'm excited. We haven't seen shit on GTA 6. And boy, the online needs to be much better. If they're adding an online, they need to update it and make it way better. The character customization needs to be fantastic. Um, and the economy needs to be fixed because that game is so hard for new people to get into.
That was another thing I read. I don't know why it wasn't in this article, because it came out around the same time. Because like, some of the devs were also, I think, talking to Jason Schreier about more than just this. I think they mentioned like their plan is to release a map, just like a GTA map, like per usual. And I think the rumors is it's Vice City.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but the rumor is that they plan on doing, like, at least initially, they plan on doing like 4 DLC cities.
Oh,
So like, city expansions. They weren't clear on whether or not like that's just for online, or if that's going to be story, or if it's going to be both. I'd imagine it'd be both, but you never know,
you
because
never know.
GTA 5 never had a story expansion, even though they
And
promised.
they were supposed to, and they were supposed to be like, oh yeah, here's some more single player like
Yeah, but I don't know, if you
heists and shit.
if you have another city, like, I don't know why you wouldn't just build some like more stuff into your single player. Why not? It almost, to me, seems like, hey, yeah, you're gonna have to wait even longer for GTA 7, but we're gonna build like GTA 7 within
Right.
GTA 6,
Right.
just
Yeah.
like an expansion.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's games as service right there.
yeah,
What you just described as games as service.
I like it. I'm
And
into it. I think
I'm
it's
into it.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I
It
was
makes
wondering if
sense.
they were gonna do that with like GTA 6 when it came out, if they were just gonna have GTA 5 city and then have the GTA 6 city, and you get like an airplane to get to GTA 6's airplane city
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But I imagine they'd
Mhm.
want to start from the ground up, just because I'm sure they're changing a lot of the mechanics and stuff, because it's been 65 years. Um, so
Yeah. And then this really shouldn't be a story. It should have been a titty up at the top.
well, yeah.
Well, okay. I almost didn't even see it. It's so small.
Don't
You
look at
see that
me.
little
Don't look at me.
you see that little titty right there?
I don't make these documents.
PlayStation.
That's JC who does that.
Oh, okay. JC does it. Thanks, JC.
Yeah, JC.
Yeah, JC, he's our guy.
Hey, you're welcome. See?
Yeah, see? Yeah, I
That's
got you.
JC.
Yeah, we couldn't hear him, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Oh, it did come through.
It didn't come through. I just saw your lips move, and yeah, I didn't hear him. That's okay.
That sounds like family dinner for me. Anyway.
You know, nice. We know he's there. PlayStation is releasing a beta for all the beta tester people who are into that. And you know what this beta includes? You know what they're adding? 1440p, baby.
Let's go.
They native 1440p. This is great. Fucking great. So it's no longer upresing to downres on your 1080. Oh no, your 1440. If you have a 1440 monitor or TV somehow, I don't know how you would have a 2K TV, but
monitor.
You'd have to have a monitor. So if you plug your PlayStation in, it would originally have to upscale to 4K, and then your monitor would have to descale it down to 2K. So
which would create some like aliasing issues.
Aliasing, controller lag, just general bad stuff.
Not great. It is kind of weird that like as a society we just skipped 1440. You know, we're just like fuck it. We're going straight to 4K. Like fuck it.
Yeah.
Like why?
I mean, it was a step. That was the step. It was like the what are those big silver discs called? The big, they had the movies.
The
laser discs.
Laser discs.
We just completely skipped laser discs. We're like, this is too big and bulky, and I already have records. I don't need
I'd
another
rather have
record.
even though the quality is better on this, I'd rather have a VHS because I can have a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we already bought all of our shit, so that's where we store it. All our tapes are right there on this little thing. Yeah, so 2K was the laser disc.
I think it's probably because like movies were ready to be shot in 4K, but games were like, we're not ready for that kind of heat yet. I still don't think they're fully ready for that kind of heat yet.
I don't think so either.
That's why I'm just down for 1440. Let's go.
I mean, 1440 is great.
Your eyes, easier. Your eyes can't tell, man. They can't tell.
It's easier to get to 60 frames if you're on 1440.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it doesn't really matter until you get so big. Like if you have a 42-inch 720 monitor or TV or monitor, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
But if you brought it down to like your phone size, it's like 720. You can't really fucking tell. You just
I'm gonna say something real controversial here. I have a 4K TV.
Okay.
And it's beautiful, and the screen looks great. If I had a 1080 screen, I'm not sure I could tell that much. You could tell. You could tell.
Oh yeah. If they're side by side, you can.
But like, I don't think it's at a point where I'm like, man, I can't watch this 10. It's not like when we made the switch to like
HD.
Yeah, when we made the switch from what's it called, like CRT TVs to HD TVs. It's not, or even 720 to 1080. It's not even that, because you notice 720. You're like, this doesn't.
Oh yeah,
this looks fucked up.
You're like, this something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with this.
But
Yeah.
like 1080p, you're like, this looks all right. And then 4K, you're like, this looks better, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if it's worth
I've
it.
never done the comparison of 1440 versus 4K. I'd be interested to see.
I'm sure there's videos online of it you could probably find.
The
Moving
interesting
right along.
the
Oh,
interesting
sorry.
thing here though with this is it supports 1440, but it has to be within the game. Like the game has to have that.
Yeah.
But it does say if the game does support like a native resolution of 4K, it will be improved due to anti-aliasing through super sampling down to 1440p. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So games really just can continue making 4K and they'll just super sample it down to 1440 for you.
Whatever that means. I'm no tech whiz.
But basically, if a game is on PC, it likely has a 1440 version.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway,
moving right along. Recent reviews via OpenCritic. We
well,
got
there's
Xenoblade.
there's more to this update though.
No.
Yeah.
No.
In your
That's it.
You can create
no.
game lists now. You can organize your games even
I don't
easier.
even see that. Oh, game lists. Look at that. I missed this whole section. Yeah. Holy shit. Okay, so in this beta, yeah, you got game lists. In your game library, you can create game lists, which makes organizing your games even easier. It's just folders. They had this on the PlayStation 3.
It's weird because it's folders, but not on your home screen. Like you have to go over to your game library.
Yeah, that is weird, isn't it?
You know, I kind of don't mind that because it's not just installed games either. It's every game you own. So I kind of like that. That was kind of lacking on PS4.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
To be honest, on the PS4, the folders, I would make folders and then they would just like not be used. If I'm being honest, so
yeah. I mean, folders kind of went to the wayside, really, unless you were somebody who just wanted to have all your games download. I don't get that, but that's nor here nor there. You can also compare 3D audio and stereo audio. So if you have like the 3D audio headphones, you can be like, is it really better? And I guess you can. Easier access in progress activities. When resuming game, in progress activities are often shown prominently at the bottom of the game hub, making it easy and fast possible to get back where you left off.
That's pretty cool, actually. So basically, like if you're playing GTA 5, you can just skip the massive like intro loading screen and you can just load back into like the story mode, like right off the bat.
That would be nice.
Yeah. That's pretty
And
sick.
there's new social features. Request share screen. You can now request people to share screens on the PlayStation. And joinable game notifications. When you join a party and a party member is playing a game you can join, you'll now receive a notification. You can join directly from the notification. That's cool. You can send stickers and voice messages in the game base. Yeah, because everybody wanted that.
I'm gonna start sending you voice messages, even though you're never on your PlayStation.
Even though I'm never on, yeah.
I'm just gonna send it to you, but through the controller's mic.
Yeah.
Hey Nick, I'm watching you, Nick.
I mean, and then like before I like sell it, I'll go through and try to delete. I'm like, oh my god, I have like 16 messages, and that's all just you just breathing.
When God of War comes out. Yep. Well.
Yep. Anyway,
pretty cool.
That's about it.
Pretty cool.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
I did not scroll down far enough to see that. Recent reviews via OpenCritic. We got Xenoblade Chronicles 3 sitting at an 88 out of 63 critic reviews.
God damn.
Doing all right. And Live Alive is at 81 out of 66 critic reviews. I don't remember what it was last week. I just decided to
so it went down.
Again. Man, people
are
liking it. It's at 81. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. It's pretty good.
Strong. And we got two fun things happening next week. We got Pokemon Direct coming August 3rd. So keep an eye out for that. That's it's early morning. It's like 7 a.m. I think. 6 a.m. Jesus, man. Japanese people, they're like, let's watch this at midnight our time.
What if we did it at a reasonable time?
Let's when everybody's getting off of work, but that's okay. And then also we got Mario Kart 8 DLC comes out August 4th. So if you're looking forward to 8 new maps for Mario Kart 8, which I am, I'm going to be playing it for sure, for sure. Um,
What do you think we're gonna see at the Pokemon Direct? Do you think they're gonna like do a deep dive into the?
No, no. From what I read, it's like you got your Pokemon games, so it'll be the League of Legends Pokemon. It'll be Pokemon Go stuff. It'll probably be something for the phone, and then at the end they'll probably be like, "Here's some more Pokemon," or "Here's some more characters from the region," or "Here's a customization thing." It'll dive into one of those like things that we're interested in.
Maybe
I
the
don't think that'll
evolved
be
forms of the starters?
or like Galean or not Galean, the different that would be cool. I would like them to do the evolved form of the starters, but
I want to know.
they usually don't do that until like right before, which I suppose
We're getting
it
close,
is
right?
it is pretty close, isn't it? Um,
December, so
yeah, so they could,
4 months.
but they could also be like region specific looking region variants,
Yeah,
which would be cool too. I really like the region
yeah. I
variants in
want
Pokemon.
another. I want another fucked up Meowth.
Yes. Well, not another Meowth. Give me like a fucking Bidoof, but
Yeah,
he's got like an afro or
I
something,
really
or
like
like a
that one fucked up
flat
Meowth.
top. They have two Meowths. There are two Meowths in that are different, and they're both pretty fucked up.
The
One's like a
one that
steel.
was in Arceus. That one's just it's so fucked up and weird looking, and I love it.
I don't remember that one,
Yeah.
but I believe you. Don't forget to check out our other Lonercast shows. We got this show Last Week in Games, and we also do a spoiler cast right after this show on our twitch.tv/lonercast at 3:30 p.m. Arizona Standard Time. Arizona Standard Time? That's not right. Just Arizona time.
Just yeah.
Usually Mountain Standard or Pacific.
I
It
think
switches.
I think we're Pacific right now.
I don't know what it is.
Who cares?
Also, follow us on Twitter at LonerCast1 is the show. At Emergency Pizza _ is Jake, and at Fatal _ Microwave is myself. Anything else you want to plug? Anything I forgot?
Oh, there's a lot I want to plug.
Oh,
Check my
like
Twitter
your
for
mom.
details.
Nice. Bringing it back. Call back.
Call back.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you've made it to the end. If not, I understand.
Also,
You're very busy.
don't forget to live, laugh, and love.
It's what your mom would want.
Yeah.